So now the last topic of today's class is properties of multiplication of decimals. There are 4 properties. The first property is if if we are multiplying two decimals, so whatever answer, whatever product you are getting, if we reverse the order of those decimals, suppose here I have written 0.25 and here I have written 0.2. Your answer is 0.05. I have reversed the order. 0.2 multiplied by 0.25. Your answer will remains the same. This is the first property. Like suppose if we take a normal whole number, if I write 2 multiplied by 3, you will get 6. If I reverse the order, 3 multiplied by 2, your answer will remain the same. So the first property which is given to your book, in your book, is the product of two decimal numbers remains the same even if their order of multiplication changes. So this is the first property. Second property is about grouping. About grouping the decimal numbers. So if I write, second property is 0.4 multiplied by 1.1 multiplied by 2.1, 0.924. So here in this case, this is the multiplication between the decimals. If I am grouping these two decimal numbers, your product will be this. And suppose if I change the grouping, your answer will remains the same. If you change the grouping of decimals, your product will remains the same. So let's read the property. The product of more than two decimals does not change if their grouping is changed. Here, if we multiply these two numbers and the product will be multiplied by this number, you will get this answer. Here in this case, you will multiply this decimal by the product of multiplication of these two numbers, you will get the same answer. So grouping will not make any changes in the multiplication. This is the second property. These properties you have to keep it in your mind while solving the fill in the blanks, and this exercise you are going to do in your book only. Third property is the simplest property. Simplest property is which says that if we are multiplying any decimal number by 0, your answer will be 0 itself. This is the third property. It says that the product of a decimal and a 0 is 0. Suppose if I take this number by 0, your product will be 0. This is the third property. If you multiply any number by 0, you always get an answer as 0. So here decimal multiplied by 0, your answer will be 0. Fourth property, the last property is if you multiply any number by decimal number by 1, your product will be the number itself. So the language is the product of a decimal and 1 is the decimal itself. So these are the 4 properties which you have to apply in exercise 5.12. So let's start doing some questions. Exercise 5.12. first question is 0.7. First question is 0.7 multiplied by 0.8 is equals to dash and then 0.7. So here 0.7 was this side and here the 0.7 is on this side. So here automatically your blank will be filled by 0.8, and this is property number 1. In this way you have to apply all these properties. So second question is 3 multiplied by 0.11 is equals to 0.11 multiplied by dash. Here 0.11 was on the second position, here it is on the first position, so we have interchanged the places. Again, this is property number 1. Third question is 0.4 multiplied by 0.2 is equals to 0.2 multiplied by 0.4. Again, property number 1. In this way, you will try to solve all the questions. Fifth number says that 0.21 multiplied by 0. Your answer will be 0. Property number 4. I have reversed the order of properties while explanation. So this is your property number. It doesn't matter if the order of the properties, if we are interchanging the order of properties, doesn't matter. So the answer will be 0. So in this way you will apply the properties and you will solve these questions. So I would like to explain you one more sum, which is sum number 10. 9.28 multiplied by 2.3 multiplied by 8.28 is equals to blank multiplied by 2.3 multiplied by 8.28. So here in this case, grouping is given. This is property number 2. So here the grouping of 9.28 with 2.3 is given and 8.28 is a number. So here grouping of 2.3 into 9.28 is a, but whichever number is left, 9.28 is left, so you will write 9.28 here. So this is the simplest way of finding out the answer. So I hope all these methods are clear to you and you will be able to solve all these questions in your notebook. So have a nice day. Thank you.